Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fandom United podcast. My name is Gio. We made it through 2020. We did it. It's 2021 now. And no better way to start off the new year than with a new name, new music, and new logo for my podcast. The Fandom United, a DC enthusiast podcast from Gio Ramos or Giorgio Ramos. Let's bring up that logo one more time. The Fandom United. This was inspired by the release of Snyder Cut movement, where over 750,000 people came together to convince Warner Brothers to do the unthinkable, and that's to release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. The fandom inspired me, and I participated, and I was so proud to be a part of that movement and to be a part of the DC fandom. This is a podcast where we can all come together and talk about the things we love DC and sometimes give DC some tough love, which I've done more than once so far. But no better way to start off the new year, and I'm completely grateful. I want to give a shout out to Jake Berlin. I do a podcast with him on Apocalypse Movies, and he created the logo for me, helped me pick the name, and helped do the music as well. I'm going to leave his Twitter in the description. You guys can give him a follow or check him out. He does a lot of good stuff. So we're going to start this podcast with some of the news that I've already covered. I'll rapid fire through them because I've already covered them in length. You guys can check it out on the channel under DCEU Breaking News. The first one is Wonder Woman 3 has officially been greenlit. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot will return for a third movie set in modern day. This comes after Warner Media reported that Wonder Woman 1984 outperformed their expectations, both in theaters worldwide and on the streaming service HBO Max. So Wonder Woman 3 is on the way, set in modern day. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Again, you can check out the news video I did covering this in depth. I think it's great news, and I can't wait. This is still a great tandem, Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot, and I can't wait to see more of Wonder Woman, especially in modern day. All right, the next piece of news that broke earlier this week. According to unnamed sources, unnamed DC executives, Zack Snyder's Justice League will be a one and done. It'll be a story that leads nowhere. Quote, a cul-de-sac. Oh, let me put this down. I'm shaking my head right now. I go into this in detail, but why would you give Zack Snyder $70 million to finish a project that goes nowhere in a genre, superhero movies, that's all about franchises and where the story leads next? I almost don't even want to talk about it because it does not make sense. And that leads me into the next piece of news that broke earlier this week. Warner Brothers, starting in 2022, will up their productions to 4 movies a year. So that means 4 movies a year. And furthermore, with the intention of doing potential spin-offs. A perfect example is James Gunn's Suicide Squad is releasing this year. There's also going to be a spin-off focused on one character, the Peacemaker, that's gotten a lot of hype, played by John Cena, and that will be on HBO Max. So starting in 2022, Warner Brothers will be doing 4 movies a year with potential spinoffs, should the content be good enough. Now, this goes back to what I was saying and shaking my head about with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if Warner Brothers is looking to do spinoffs off of their movies, why would they invest $70 million in a project that leads nowhere? All of this coming in the same New York Times article that focused on Walter Hamada. Again, I covered that on channel. Please do check it out. But the NYT writer says in a quote from Walter Hamada that they'll be looking for 4 movies. They'll be looking to do 4 movies a year. Later on, he quotes an unnamed DC executive that says, no, the Justice League will be the one that leads nowhere. It makes no sense. But whatever. Believe what you want to believe. And I will look at the trends and the way things are going and what the fandom is calling for. And believe me, there will be more of these characters beyond Zack Snyder's Justice League. Another piece of news that broke earlier this week, Ray Fisher is unfortunately done playing Cyborg. He does not want anything to do with DC Films president Walter Hamada. This after Walter Hamada tried to protect one of the people that Ray Fisher is calling out as far as the Justice League reshoots and the kind of toxic behavior and abusive language that was used on set from director Joss Whedon, from comic book writer Jeff Johns, and from producer John Byrne. So Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, is backing up his words. He will not play Cyborg anymore. He will not play a superhero character anymore as long as DC Films president Walter Hamada is involved. And this whole time, Ray Fisher has been putting his career on the line to hold people accountable for their abusive, toxic behavior and actions on a Hollywood set. He's fighting to put an end to that, and he's putting his career on the line. My applaud to Ray Fisher. I stand with Ray Fisher. That's awesome, man. I really hope you get more work in Hollywood because you truly deserve it, and you are a very talented actor who's going to kill it in Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut. I can't wait for audiences to see the true version of your character. And once they do see it, I'm confident there'll be a calling for a superhero solo movie focused on Cyborg. All right, so that wraps up the news that I previously covered. Now let's get to some news that I've yet to cover. And the first one is so exciting. No better way to start off 2021 than with the announcement that James Gunn's The Suicide Squad will in fact be R-rated. Why is this great news? Well, because, okay, let's look back at the 2016 movie, right? You give that movie an R rating, does that make the movie better? Not really. But these kind of characters, Harley Quinn, Joker, Deadshot, and in this upcoming movie, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, Peacemaker, these characters, even just looking at them right now, look at that speaks, that yells R rating. And when you have a movie that's given R rating, the director, the filmmakers, the writers, they're given more creative freedom because there's no longer limitations. And I think for properties like these, it makes sense. Am I saying every movie has to be R-rated? No. No, it doesn't. But this project specifically should absolutely have an R rating. It's the Suicide Squad. They're going to die. And I want those deaths to be violent, to be gory, to be fun in a way that only James Gunn knows how to do. The director and writer of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Some of Marvel's best movies. I can't wait. This is great news. Because I was worried. I was worried that DC was going to cave and give it a hard PG-13, which probably would have been fine. But be honest. You'd prefer the R version, the R-rated version. So would I. Don't worry about the kids and this appealing to kids. You can imagine a good portion of them already saw Deadpool. Probably saw Logan. Both, by the way, 2 examples of R-rated comic book movies that were huge successes. So don't worry about it not making any money at the box office. That argument's over. Bring me the Suicide Squad R-rated. I want it. On the big screen, if it happens. I live in California, okay? It's aren't exactly, no limitations around here. But that's all I will say about that. All right, and some other news. We have images. We have images from Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut. We finally get to talk about Snyder Cut, even though we've been talking about it the whole time pretty much. But we have updates. Updates via images, official images. So let's start with this one. We have Ben Affleck's Batman. Look at that outfit. Man, he looks awesome. My only question is this a 2017 photo or part of the additional photography reshoots? Again, Zack Snyder only shot about 4 to 5 minutes worth of footage for the Snyder Cut because, again, he's getting to do his own cut, the original cut. And Ben Affleck confirmed to be a part of those additional photography. So is this a recent picture? But man, is that blood stains on the door behind him? I love it. I'm so excited. I'm so happy he's coming back. It's going to be glorious. All right, next image from the Snyder Cut. We have Gal Gadot as Diana Prince. But look at that background. The sunset. The sky. Man, this movie already looks incredible. Here's a full version of the image. Boom. You know what you're getting from a Zack Snyder movie as far as visuals are concerned. Movies like 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. This movie's going to look insane. Speaking of Diana Prince, here she is in her Wonder Woman battle attire, taking on Steppenwolf, the OG version of Steppenwolf. Again, another example of just how different his character is going to look in the upcoming Snyder Cut. Look at the spikes coming out of his armor. Yeah, try punching him. You better have armor on yourself. There he is, wielding an axe that looks like it's charging electricity, and Wonder Woman fearlessly going toe-to-toe with Steppenwolf. Again, visually amazing. Speaking of the Snyder Cut, Mr. Zack Snyder himself confirmed he is 99% done with his cut. So all you people out there saying he gets to remake his entire movie, shoot it again from start to finish, that is crazy time if he started production during COVID might I remind you, he's already 99% done. Which means we are getting a trailer very soon. And according to Zack Snyder, that trailer could be coming sometime in the next couple weeks. Definitely in January. Again, the movie is coming out in March 2021. It's going to be such a promising year, guys. Such a promising year. But not just for DC fans like myself and enthusiasts, but for comic book movie fans. Because I feel like this is the year that DC really, really gets it together. They take the momentum that they had from DC fandom and carry it into this year. Look at this graphic from thedirect.com, who, by the way, they do a great job. Really good job reporting news. But man, Snyder Cut on the far left, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, the Arrowverse CW. You see the Flash, Supergirl, Batwoman, Superman and Lois, etc. characters. It is going to be a great year. And I couldn't be any more excited. And I invite you guys to subscribe to my channel and share the excitement together. Continue the conversation. Talk about the things we love. Give tough love to the things that we really wanted to love. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's episode of the Fandom United. Subscribe here. You can find me on Twitter at Grey Goose Jedi. Yes, I'm also a Star Wars fan. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of great things this year, hopefully. Or at least a lot of content that in my eyes I'll feel great about. Trailer reactions, movie reviews, weekly news. And if the news is big enough, I'll talk about it on that day. Thank you so much for joining me again. Thank you for your time. I hope this year is far better than the previous year was for you. And be safe. Don't lose that optimism, that hope that the new year always brings. Hold on to that. Small accomplishments, day by day. And we'll get through this year together as well. Take care. Be safe. And I'll see you guys next time.